this and hope it doesn't crash. Hello. Okay. I'm so sad, man. Coach for like
Why
2
is that?
hours and now it's just all gone.
Oh no.
It's never happened before. Sorry, whatever. Whatever, I don't care. I'm over it.
You sound like you're not over it.
I'm over it, Hamza.
Doesn't sound like you're over
Sure,
it.
buddy.
So how was your Thursday going?
It's
Well,
Thursday?
Yeah,
I
it's
just
Thursday.
got up.
Nice.
Respectable, respectable. What is it? 10 a.m.?
It
Hello?
is like
Epic
9:30.
pen? Epic pen? Epic pen? Epic
Yeah,
pen.
I woke up early
Epic
today,
pen.
and I was
Epic
like
pen.
wanting to get some work done, and now it's 3 p.m. So I'm like, never mind.
Bruh, Epic pen dead. What is that? I gotta. Cringe. Why is my PC so bad? Oh, I know why it's so bad,
'Cause it's
but you know,
bad, outdated.
don't respond to that.
Hey, have you heard of KVSS? Who are you?
Hey, have you heard of that I like trains kid?
Do you?
I'm so cool.
Oh, that's so weird. There's a KVSS guy.
I actually do
Right.
have a replay that we might be able to use.
Cool.
I think I'm playing Inizari in it. I think I'm playing like Ryan and Paul.
That's fine.
So if you want that, I can do that. I can send that to you.
Sure.
Right, so Wolf is in Chaslin.
I just DM'd you the good.
Is there any way we can... Yo, Raven.
Yeah, what's up?
Is there any way we can look at the other division competitive teams?
Perhaps Cal. I don't know.
I guess that's a Sakana question or a Kronos question.
Yeah, man. I'm not a DI person anymore. I don't care about that. Hollywood.
It would be
I don't
fun
like
to
Hollywood.
see who we're up against, you know, Raven.
Well, in terms of division league, or
Yeah. Or just because apparently, I'm pretty
can we
sure
check that?
some of the other houses should have teams or like teams for their
Can we just check
division.
the MDT,
How do you do that?
MDR.
MDR?
Why
Uh,
am I lagging, man? It didn't lag at all last time. That's just cringe. Close this. There we go.
Wait, which one are you? Oh, you're Gigaron.
Yeah, it's me.
That sounds familiar.
What is happening?
Oh, from the 1v1 arena, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Yes. Now I remember.
I'm not a very
What
good
are
1v1.
you doing?
What can I
It's
close?
also-
I can't close anything. I'll close Battlenet actually. I can close
What
it.
is display 1 and what's display 2?
I don't know. It just opens when I open Battle Epic Pen. It doesn't do anything. It closes when I close Epic Pen as well. It doesn't do anything.
Oh,
Maybe that's why I'm lagging. Who knows? Anyway,
who knows? Are you
guess we'll
gonna
just deal
watch-
with a scuffed replay. Actually, I can. Wait a second. Tabs.
Get rid of notepad. You don't need that. Make sure you save it though.
No.
We
don't
brain
think
if
I
you
will.
don't save it, but
I didn't change anything. So, boom.
Do you want to do what we used? Do you want to do what we used to do, where I host the VOD review and then you watch? Or I stream the game and then you watch?
I think it's. Yeah. How does it look?
It's okay.
Yeah, it's
to be
alright.
honest.
stinky feed. Yeah, you do it. Smile.
Me? Okay. You send me the thingy.
There you go. Oh, wrong
So we're
way.
hopping over to his stream.
Yes.
1 sec. This brings me back.
I already saw a few questionable things in there on my side, so I was like, oh no.
This brings me back to when Raven was a coach.
I was an amazing coach. I should start charging people.
You're alright.
Ouch. That hurts.
How is Team
this
Night
thing mean?
Fury?
Right.
Yeah.
They are also Team A, but roster 2. How are they ahead of us in terms of roster positions? We should roster 1.
Wait,
How we?
could you send me a link to that?
Oh Jesus Christ! You're so bad at navigating through DI.
Yeah, bro, I hate the fucking forums. I don't know where I'm
also
going.
do them, but it's just not being recorded, so therefore we cannot talk bad.
Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah, DI is my favorite place to be.
Don't
The
worry, I'll
people
just
are
cut it out
amazing.
again. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry.
Again, just save the snippet. Oh, another moment. Brilliant.
So,
1 sec.
There's a 4th roster in Team A. Oh my goodness, it's huge as
So-
shit.
Can you pause? Talk about team comps? I don't know. Let's talk about team comps. So, I mean, Reinhog is fine.
Wait, was it silver?
It's, I assume,
It's low gold.
Okay.
fair enough.
Just looking. Yeah. There's nothing inherently wrong with it.
I mean, you could have played a bit more aggressive at the start, even if you don't have a Zarya to protect you, because I mean, there's nothing they can do because they would still be on the other side of the street. But that's fine. The Echo's going off, vibing on the flank, which I mean, there's not much you can do about that. So yeah, I mean, just holding front is fine, I think. Oh, I closed my lo-fi beats. That's why I shouldn't have closed Google.
Not your lo-fi beats.
The lo-fi beats, man.
Down remember. What do you do?
Back. I should back up.
Okay.
Sorry.
You could have. Wait, can you go back to the hook? This is the problem with you casting.
Okay. You wanted to angle, didn't you?
Yeah, you should have angled. You can block. You can obviously block shots with your hook. So even if it's through a wall, because physics.
So yeah.
So you could have aggressively rotated your shield and just. I mean, obviously they don't die, but for the next one they die when she gets hooked. So you could have rotated your shield and tried to block it. Yeah, so like there, for example. I mean, that's. I don't know. They could have called out that there was a hog still on the left, or you could have just been playing a little further back and watching the flank. But
I mean, another thing you
No,
could
no.
have done, if since you had time to pin, you could have gone behind him and then pinned him against this way towards your team. I
Okay.
don't know. Just because, and then that makes you get some damage off him, and then your team might also focus him down. But right now, what he's kind of doing is that he's just fishing. He's just fishing just over and over again, and he's just getting kills. And then I don't know if you realize it or not, but if he's doing that, then you can just camp here with your shield because you kind of just don't realize it.
Yeah, I think at this point I was more focused on holding the corner for
Yeah.
more people versus one.
Okay.
I think right here they take the point, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it looks like they do take the point. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to see how you prevent these sort of things from happening. Is that you're kind of playing into their okay, this is now my coaching session. Raven.
hey, you're saying things, man. I don't want to interrupt you. I'm a nice guy like
No,
that.
I'm just wondering.
No, you don't want to say anything? Okay, well,
Okay.
obviously you don't have the protection that you would with a Ryan Zarya, and they can play the long game because they're running a weird comp with 2 off tanks and not a lot of shielding. So, I mean, at this point, I guess it's just entirely up to your DPS. because the only thing you can really do is help them out and enable them, I guess, because if you try and play aggressive, you're going to get hooked, you're going to get rocked. So you either need to play aggressive when you're coordinated with your team, or you need to hope that your team does stuff for you while you're shielding them. So you can either play further back and help your team, or you can just pray. Because if you play aggressive, you're going to be at the disadvantage, obviously, because you should get instantly discarded. You should get poked and killed. So
Okay.
there's not much you can do. I mean, you could
And
consider switching if you
honestly-
wanted to, or you can ask your Roadhog to switch.
honest-
Because Ryan Zarya against Sig Hog should work, or you could just mirror that tank line if you're confident enough. Because right now there's not much you can do apart from just be a shield bot. Because when they actually push in, all you can do is walk backwards.
2 DPS down. Roadhog gets hooked. So, I was gonna say another thing is that you're kind of just playing into their win condition, which is their win condition is just to get picks. They have the Roadhog and they have the Ash, and they've done that, but they don't realize that probably because of their rank is that they're 2 up, so they should just push in because then they just 6v4 it.
Yeah.
So, and like one of the things is like you. I'm just thinking what you could have done instead. Like maybe shield the hook here. It's kind of unfortunate. And then we talked about how you could have dealt with this Roadhog a little bit better, but it's okay. It's unfortunate Anna used her nade for herself, and then usually when Anna sleeps someone, you kind of want to coordinate. I don't know how many team communications there are.
There wasn't much this match.
Yeah, so one of the ways you could have done it, I said, pin that way, and then you could have guaranteed a kill. It's kind of unfortunate you're now 4v6. So really, what is Zen? Oh, Zen was respawning. Okay, never mind.
Were you making calls? Don't know what. I'm so alone. Well, regardless of whether the rest of your team is making calls, you should still call as the main tank. It doesn't matter. If there's people in voice, then you should always be calling. If there's not people in
Okay.
voice, then bully them into joining voice.
See something. Who did he die to? Oh, he's up there. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, positioning on the high ground's never a good idea unless you have shields. I mean, you can do it at the start, but once they start picking you or poking you down, you gotta run away.
Okay.
So that's then just kind of through.
I'm looking just because I'm
Now I see that we guys are saying to walk around. I didn't see that you slept before.
okay. It's kind of like you're a bit oblivious to what's happening. Even though I muted the sound, I can still hear that there is a hog behind or something, and you're kind of just oblivious to it. One thing is like your shield isn't really getting the value it's getting just because it's just shielding yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like you're just shielding yourself, and that's it. And what you kind of want to be doing is just like using your shield with another guy. So, and that's how you get the best value out of it. because you're kind of just playing your own game where you stand for a minute and then hold right click and then fire strike in without getting and typically anything done. Meanwhile, whilst you're playing your own little game, this roadhog's going out fishing and killed 3-4 people already. So a little bit of awareness and a little bit of you should be looking out for look behind occasionally just to see like is there anyone behind me that I should be shielding. There's two ways you could do it. Is like you turn around, or you when you're holding right click you use your camera.
Yeah.
So left click and then you turn around to just
Yeah,
make
left
sure
click and move your
you're
mouse.
actually shielding where you're shielding people, because you don't want to be just standing in the middle of nowhere by yourself with a shield out. So when that happens and you realize, oh, I'm by myself, just reposition. Okay. So like right here is a time where you could have been shielding, and that could have prevented your Roto from getting hooked and then dead. But it's unlucky. And then they kind of just rolled you. Anything else to comment, Raven?
I mean, that's inherently going to be a tough battle for you, because not only were you 2 down, but there's not much you can do as a Ryan against longer range tanks like that.
Yeah, that's another thing.
I mean, it's going to be even more. It should be even more of a problem at this point because they can obviously just take high
I
grounds.
just realized one thing. If we get Prezi in, Prezi
Oh
can
my
go play
God.
Lucio.
Wait, Percy can play Lucio?
Yeah, it says it in her support lineup.
You know what? Fair enough. Let's get Prezi.
Can we
Yeah, just get Prezi.
Okay, back to topic.
focus,
Get him.
please?
So, sorry.
I just got excited.
So, like, you see here that there's no one behind you.
Yeah.
So, right now you should be thinking, I should not be here. And you see your hog over there. Is that you should really try and help him, because even though you're not making a bad play, or like you're playing basically textbook of what Ryan should be doing, is that because of your rank, not many people are actually going to be doing or thinking about how they should be playing. They're going to be more like trying to play their own game, trying to have fun or whatever, or doing what this guy's doing is just trying to get for picks. So right now, this guy's going to die. But you could try prevent him from dying by possibly being with him and shielding, so he doesn't get hooked, he doesn't get stunned or whatever. I'll just see what happens to him actually. Okay, he just gets ignored. He just gets ignored by the other Roadhog.
How doesn't he kill the animal?
Yeah, he
Lucky.
he missed. That's how he didn't kill Liana. He missed.
Hmm.
So it's kind of unfortunate. It's kind of stupid how Roadhog was there, but at the same time, it's like, could you have done anything? Maybe. If you shielded him, then perhaps. And then if he died, you can just pin back. But it's kind of unlucky how your Roadhog was there. But back to here. So if you notice that there's no one behind you really, you just use your good old left shift button and go this way and just regroup with your team. Otherwise, you're just gonna be here, where you're just by yourself, and you're gonna end up how that Roadhog is, basically, flying in the sky with his hook out. Okay.
What is this game?
I think it's like 20-ish minutes.
20 minutes ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like if this was me, I would probably switch.
I think
Because-
I ended up swapping.
You can.
You're gonna take
like,
too
after
much
the,
damage.
I think
shadow.
you can still stay as Ryan. You can definitely make.
Shut up, Magda. I don't know, you do you. I would be tempted to go monkey after shadow, or mirror the tank line and just go Sigma. But if you don't play Sigma, then kind of hard to go Sigma. Because I mean your DPS, you haven't seen your DPS since they died.
Yeah,
You're not
I
shielding
completely
anybody apart from
agree.
yourself.
I think the
Yeah.
first like few points of this whole game, it was a little rough and was more like one-sided.
It is a little rough, mostly because like your team's not actually regrouping, and like you see here, they're just going one by one against 3 or 4 men. But hey, here's a regroup. Unlucky hog. Okay.
Please hold. Oh, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Is anybody going to talk about the shatter potentials just before?
Nah, there's no need.
I was going to say that, but
They
then I
can
saw the
cut-
whole hog.
You
You
I was
papago.
kind of just
I was
you
going,
kind of just won by walking forward.
I was gonna
Because-
shatter, but then I saw that the whole hog was going on, so I didn't want to like waste a CCL.
I was
move.
just thinking about here-ish. Is that
Yeah, you should have pinned out as
I
soon as
think
the hog
when you
died.
see when you see Roadhog die, you should have pinned out and then probably been with your honor instead of like shakingly walking backwards.
Or at least
Gotcha.
shield
and
hop.
then, okay, so it's kind of weird because it's like you're shielding when you don't need to, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I got
And
you.
then yeah, it's because of what we were talking about earlier. When there's no one behind you, you're just using shield for yourself. And that's not really what shield's for.
Get that damage blocked. Pog you. 50,000.
Ooh, vibes.
Ooh,
That
vibes.
they jam.
Good old Castlevania vibes.
Castlevania vibes. It's fine. It's kind of Oh, that's how you won. It's kind of a They don't have any damage.
They have stinky
It's a
feet.
bit
What do you mean?
disorganized, but
Stinky feet.
anyway, just continuing.
That's a
Like
fun
here, I
name.
didn't think there was anything
The
necessary to
hog
shatter
shielding there is fine.
because yeah, I don't think you needed to shatter, to be honest.
The only reason they go back was because of the whole hog, though. Surely. I mean, I don't expect golds to have the what is it? The obedience to run
Okay.
away as soon as one ult fails. I assume they just backed off because of the whole hog. If it wasn't there, then you could have shot it, in my opinion. But hey, you can also reactionarily block hook with shield if you have fast enough reactions. Because I mean, the hog was right in front of you, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I think this was a dumb play on my part. I think I ended up getting rolled. Yeah.
I would have shot at him though. Oh, well,
No, you would not shatter a whole hogging Roadhog, my guy.
It was. I thought he had more health.
Kind of could have talked about shield management a little bit.
No, didn't need to back up there. You could have played forward, and when you drop your shield and you saw he was hooking, you block it. I guess you didn't shield because you were behind that weird box thing. But yeah, that shield on the whole hog is really good though. Because he would have got rocked and CC'd otherwise. So you go behind. I don't know what we're up to anymore.
How
No,
far
yeah.
is he? Yeah, it's kind of a bad play from your Ash, but it's a bad position for your Ash, but at the same time, it's something you could have prevented because shield goes up to where that hook is,
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah,
yeah, I got you. I think, yeah, I had fire strike right
and
at
it's
the same time.
very lucky that he got away. There's all.
No, I don't know why I fire strike there.
This is interesting.
Yeah, I didn't think they even had
Alright.
his breather.
You don't really want to be losing your shield to whole hog. So one of the things you could be doing is that you just hold your shield and then let go of it, just so that you block off some of the damage, but you also get pushed away.
Okay.
And just because it's discorded and he's low, you should have just fire striked immediately, and then this would have killed him and wasted his ult. So if you fire strike now, he would die.
Okay. Yeah, I think I just
But
didn't see that the cooldown had
it's
hit.
okay. And then you don't have shield here,
Yeah, you gotta chill
so
there, man.
it's,
Play behind the hay bales.
a very
Mhm.
brave peak.
Yeah.
Because one, you didn't have shield, and two, you're below 500. You're below 100 HP. So basically, any sort of damage that tickled you would have killed you. So you could have just held off a little bit, which is what you're doing now anyway.
That was just stop distracting me.
Yeah, it's a good meme though.
All right, Raven, you can talk about downtime and what you should be doing in downtime.
You minimize your
Yes,
application.
stream pause.
Stream
My
pause.
favorite.
Play aggressive. I don't know. Yeah, probably play aggressive. Let your DPS take high grounds if they want it. Just I would play probably forward up by that door. Can you go forward? The door on the
Yeah.
left there. Yeah, there we go. On the hay bale.
Yeah.
Then when you need to, you get back to the
Oh
corner.
yeah.
Then when they start to push in, if you need to, you fall back to the corner, and then when they push onto that, then you fall back to the little cart thing, which is that one.
Yeah.
Because when you're defending, you need to make them fight for every inch of space. And if you just play point, or if you play behind point, which is even worse, then they're just going to get a lot of space for free. So you got to play as aggressive as possible and make them fight for as much space as you can manage. That's all I have to say.
All right.
Because that's another problem, is just letting them engage onto you before you engage onto them. Like ideally, you should be the first ones to commit onto a fight all the time. Because if you don't, then like if you're just using ults and using things to counter what they're doing, then you're at a disadvantage, right? Because they can think, hey, I'm going to visor this. Or no, they can make a team plan like, hey, I'm gonna flux, they're gonna use trans, and then we're gonna bob, I don't know. And if you're reactionarily doing that, then you're kind of just falling into their trap and you're doing exactly what they planned, I guess. So you gotta be doing things before they do. That's a nice habit to get into. But again, that requires a lot of team coordination, so in a solo queue match, I just recommend maybe trying to track in downtimes, thinking about what they use, what they have, and what you can use next fight.
Okay.
Ult tracking is hard.
Anyone want to explain why this is wrong?
Your healers are frontlining?
21 questions with Nathan.
I thought you were going to answer that. Alright then.
Yeah,
It just sounded like you were going to answer that and you just kind of faded off. I think it's because your healers are frontlining and you're kind of hiding from the Bob. I mean, Bob doesn't do a lot of damage. You can just right click the entire duration of Bob if you need to. You don't need to because your healers should run away. Or you can just face the Bob damage because Bob damage doesn't give Ash ult charge anymore. So you can just stand there, give your supports healing, which they don't even need. Wait. Oh, that's the wrong team. Huh. I thought you were a red team. I really hate your colorblind settings, you know. You can just stand there and give. I mean, obviously you don't need ult charge for your supports, but in any other scenario, you could do that if you wanted to. Because I mean, he's not going to kill you. You have 500 HP, and you have armor, so he's gonna. You should be fine against it. There's no need to run away. I mean, you can
Okay.
say like that if your healers are behind you, but right now the Bob is only going to go for the healers, presumably.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Yeah, it really just comes to be shielding issue.
Where are your DPS, man? I haven't seen your DPS since first point.
So one's here, the other's here.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But it's okay. But yeah, if there's a Bob or something that's making you disengage, you should be last one to disengage and not the first. So
See what
so
that
you
Ash
wanna
should have
make
done.
sure-
If that Ash was a big brain gamer, they should have put it further towards your backline, like towards jail,
Yeah, they put it
because
here.
that would have forced you all
been
the way
pretty
back,
good.
and it would have had such greater sight lines. But right now, it's just behind the point.
Oh,
Like it's
there
literally,
as well.
yeah, could have put it there. Could have put it on that cart, and you would have to go around the corner. There was a little saloon thing, and that would have put you at such a greater disadvantage than you're at right now. But thankfully, they're not a big brain
That's
gamer.
an issue with the. That's an issue with the Ash, but it's okay.
I'm saying these things so Exums will pick them up and use them in his comp games.
Oh, piss off, man! You know I use
No.
my
No, this is where Hamza puts his bomb.
No, I would literally go through the fucking saloon here into the bar and put it over there in the back club, bro. By the dumpster.
I trust you.
here.
I believe.
Or you could just do it here.
No, go
By the
up
dumpster, by the
below
door.
level.
Pew,
No,
pew, pew.
go below level. Go
He
into
means
the
the bin.
bar.
I bet you do it here.
There.
The bins,
No,
bro.
I bet he
Look
does it
left.
here and it lands over
Ah,
here.
you're so infuriating, man.
Okay, anyway.
So you mean here.
Anyway.
No, left.
He means
Into the building. Look left. Left door.
means
There
the
we
bin.
go.
Yeah, there
I'll
you go.
put it there. The
Green waste.
bin.
Why is there a
And pushes them all
bin
the way
in
back.
Wild West America? Anyway,
It's
It's
Hollywood.
just a grin. It's Hollywood.
movie set, baby.
Exactly, blue.
Can we
Oh,
should
there's a random safe here.
we should get on with the
Yeah.
replay, man. Oh, he can shoot you over
Yeah,
that.
you
Alright,
wanna
never mind.
be last out.
What
That's
is
what
your
you
soldier
wanna be
doing over
the
there?
last man to
Oh
disengage.
no.
And yeah, soldier should.
Big Valk? No, not Valk. Cole.
Mm,
I know my ultimate names.
he forced out both supports with that.
What? Oh no. You hate to see it. Nice
That's
one.
quick, Shadow.
I was unlucky. Your
I
hog
think
should have played more aggressive. What were your hog doing, man?
I think that was a big shadow because it stopped their
Yeah, it was
team from
nice.
doing
If you didn't
anything.
throw both support holes, you would have won them. A lot easier. I don't know if that was super big brain or if it was completely accidental because when Sigma has his shift up, he can't shield. So I don't know if you were thinking about that or if you were just entirely playing around. Hey,
No,
there's no Sigma shield in front of me. I should try it now.
No, I wasn't thinking about the shift, but I was thinking that he couldn't shield because he was doing something else, and I was like, it's probably a better point.
Fair enough. Because Sig shield can be annoying to shadow against because it only has a cooldown of 2 seconds between when he drops it
Yeah.
and when he puts it back up, unless it's destroyed. So it can be quite finicky.
I see a lot of this happening where your off tank is in front of you, and if that happens in your games, usually to protect him, you want to just move forward in front of him.
Okay.
Okay,
Got it.
because like you can't really control what he's doing.
Don't get that mistaken with a flanking hog.
Say, you can yell at him and
Flanking
say, back,
hog
back, whatever.
does a lot, especially in gold.
Yeah, this is not a flank. This is just
I mean-
frontline hog.
Hey, don't mistaken an aggressive player for a flanking player.
They have an aura.
'Cause
They
this
can
guy-
easily punish your hog.
Yeah, but imagine if he played like
My
Mega,
guy,
left side Mega.
This is the flank.
If he was over there, he could
This
kill them
is
so
front
easily.
line. But
I'm just saying, if you see your hog over in some flank, then don't go over and shield him. Let him do his own thing.
Okay.
I'm just trying to
okay.
account
Yeah.
for misunderstandings. Okay.
Okay,
sorry.
I see what you mean. But in a team fight, let's say.
I mean, it's part. Didn't you get
Yeah.
stunned? Or why are you that far back? Because they're already up by now. I don't know. Anyway,
Nah,
I have
it's
short-term memory loss, so I don't remember what happened in the last 5
it's
seconds.
okay. But yeah, in team fights, if you see your off tank in front of you, that's a sign for you to go forward.
Okay.
Oh, that's the flank.
Because when he ulted, you could have been here and then been able to
Shield the
shield
damage.
the hog from all the
Big
damage.
brain.
Yeah.
How does he die to that though?
But
Does
he
not
takes
breeder?
he takes a ton of damage and then slam.
Oh, I pressed E too late, man.
Yeah, he pressed E too
What
late.
a pig.
But yeah, it's kind of a
I
scrappy
mean, here I'd
fight.
try to play around physical cover like those hay bales on the right, or I'd just chill until I got shields up again, because as I mentioned, this team has a lot of damage, and there's not much that you can do to engage up onto them, unless you have a lot of shielding. This is maybe a bit too much space being given up, especially since you got the mate. And your hogs back. That was fast. What are these respawn times?
That's a quick respawn.
You can play around those boxes on the right if you need to chill. Because playing around physical cover is incredibly important as Ryan when you don't have shields.
Do
Especially
you
when you're
usually
tied in safe
play
space.
Rhine or main tank or whatever?
I do Ryan Zarya.
Okay.
I took a
so
break
like
from Ryan
Raven.
for like a bit and started playing a lot of Zarya, and this is like getting back into Ryan.
Oh, okay. Do you mind me asking what your sensitivity is?
Yeah, the sensitivity in the game is 5 or 5.5, something like that.
No way.
So
That's
similar
the
to
same
Raven's.
as me,
Okay.
dude. It's DPI.
I'm guessing 800 DPI.
Oh, whoa.
Yep.
Yo,
DPI.
that's mad.
I'm just wondering.
That's kind of mad. That was.
I tried 900 and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Wow. I tried 3200 DPI. It was amazing. Honestly, the worst, the worst thing for a hit scan.
Again, you should be
I guess
playing
I
more
could have been
aggressive.
pushing up
And your hog should be flanking.
like that.
Oh, flank hog does so much in lower SRs, man. It's actually annoying how
Really
well he can
does.
do.
Yeah, because no one punishes them.
Yeah, that's what I.
That's same
okay,
with
man,
our
okay.
games, Raven. Because
What
Yeah,
can I do? I'm a
yeah.
main tank. I can't counter a
I'm
flanking
looking
hog.
at
The only thing I can do
everyone
is
else.
shield and call it there's a hog in the flank.
It's like, I see a hog.
Big bomb.
It's like, oh, oh, big
Oh
bomb.
no. Okay.
Yeah.
When
Go
the
on, Raven.
I mean, in that positioning, screw the rest of your team. You're not going to get back to them. You're not shielding anything, so just play more aggressive. If your team was playing closer to you, then obviously you should shield them. But I mean, they got back and you're nowhere near them, so you might as well just play more aggressive then, and just hope that they don't die. Because I mean, there's nothing you can do. You might as well play past the boxes, not take any shield damage, and try and capitalize with your
You
Roadhog.
know, I had a feeling that was gonna happen. I had a feeling that was gonna happen.
They should have played behind
Nah,
the
you
cactus,
didn't
man.
have
What are they
enough
doing?
time. They didn't have enough time.
Cactus blocks
Yeah,
nukes.
they
It's
were
obvious.
so prepared.
Cactus does block nukes.
It
this
does.
is no
Cactus
The
fact.
majority of
block
things block
nukes.
the nuke, but not nothing.
Except for a lamp. I don't know why I can't get a lamp to work. I stood behind a lamp, it didn't work. I was like, oh fuck. Now
Oh
my
yeah, lamps don't work. It's so weird. But yeah.
So now you gotta
It's
shield hop
unfortunate.
away. Screw your Ryan, survival, okay. I mean, you just screw your hog. Words. Yep.
Sorry, we're back here.
So when that Sig died, you can play more aggressive with your Rotor. Again, that links into what Magnus said about playing in front of your off tank. So here, well, yeah, I mean, you should have been playing past those
Yeah.
boxes anyway towards the Mega. So when the Diva ulted, you should have been able to kill her. There's not much you can do. You could have tried to corner swing that Moira, but probably wouldn't have killed her
Really,
anyway
the
because she's coalescing.
When something unlucky like that happens, your only two options is just to charge back or just die on payload.
Okay.
So, just because, okay, charging back, get back with the team, that's self-explanatory. And dying on payload is that the objective of this game mode is just to prevent them from continuing. And if you die on payload, you might be able to get a reset and a recontest because everyone died so early. Or you might be able to get a pick off. So let's say perhaps this Ash you might be able to kill instead of going for this
Ulti Moira.
Coalescence Moira. Yeah, because from my opinion, I don't think there's any way that you can kill a coalescing Moira
Yeah,
as Ryan.
no.
Unless you have
Maybe
Shatter.
unless you're Raven, you know, maybe.
I am amazing. What can I say?
Unless you're Raven, I don't think that's happening. So you could be trying to look. If you were on payload, you could have been trying to look for. Oh yeah, bomb. You could be trying to look for a target that you can think of killing. It's kind of unfortunate here. So Cole hackers. So you were trying to go for Moira. So here, trying to think. Probably not. I think your best choice out of what's happening is probably just to reset or down payload, I guess. But yeah, let's see what happens. He kind of just die, and he dies to the Cole as well because he's a Papiga hog. But anyway, he's coming ball.
I think I messed up the. Yeah, I messed it up.
Unlucky.
And then I just get.
You can
Yeah,
latch
that's
onto
not
walls
sorry.
as well as ceilings, and that
Yeah,
probably
it's
will
unlucky.
mess you up less if you just
Yeah,
latch
so
onto the
that-
wall.
That was unlucky. I'm guessing you were typing.
So then I can't remember.
Oof.
Now he goes there. That's weird.
Oh, now he goes Zara, yeah.
Nice fire strike. So here is an age-old problem. Do you shield the bomb or do you shield the enemies? And that is dependent on who the bomb is shooting. IMO. Because he was shooting
Honestly,
you, so you
if
did
the
the right
Bob
thing
is-
by just completely
If the Bob
ignoring
is
him.
shooting you, you would be fine.
He was shooting me for at
Your
least a bit, I think.
healers were enough to keep you up. I don't know if you could see.
Because one
And like
colossal
Fans as
brain
well.
strategy that you could do is just tell your healers to play in front of you so they don't get shot by the bomb if they were getting shot by the bomb. But then it comes up
Yeah.
to who could do more damage, the bomb or the enemy team. Because in an ideal world, you would find some crazy angle to block both Bob and the enemies,
nice.
but I don't think that's possible from there unless you play off to the side somehow.
Nah, it's really not.
I feel like you don't have to worry about the bombers as much, because I mean, you're a Reinhardt. You could have just chilled on the left there, and since the Diva was coming towards you for some reason, just kill her as soon as kill her in general. Because I mean, even if you do get hit by the bomb, you're not gonna die to it from that distance. Because she bombs and she goes towards you for some reason, and you don't end up killing her because you're shielding the bomb, which I understand is very scary. It's a nuclear explosion, but like, you're a big German man. You don't care about nuclear explosions.
True.
So like, I mean, you're kind of low, I guess. I mean, what do you think? Do you think it will
Yeah,
kill you
he
from that
was-
distance? Or you could have just got behind the wall.
I think he could have two-shot the mini diva before bomb went off, so he could have
Ooh.
swing, right-click. But that would have been a God Gamer move. And
Or just swing and
what I would
fire
say-
strike. Or
what
just
I'd
stand
say
behind
to
the wall.
that is that your sensitivity feels like it's very low for you to be able to do that. But I think you could have done it. So let's see here.
If you believe.
So you get frozen by May, that's whatever. And then you get
Go for
this
the
really good
pin.
pin. Boom. You see Rock, you could have right clicked instead of fire strike. but
It's taking
hey,
less damage.
it's okay. And then like here, wait, let's see. Hate replay 2.
Just
So
get
good,
good.
good pin. Unlucky. So where she lands, actually you wanted to. Oh no, you're fine really. You could have gone swing. So as soon as the diva popped out, so like which is so after the stun, so diva appears right now. You could have let down your shield and started swinging twice, and then turned around for the diva bomb. Yeah, you probably would have been fine. But if you corner swing, you would have got that diva out. But it's okay. Okay.
Should have shielded the res.
Yeah. So there were actually two things that you could have shielded. Unfortunate corner swings.
Oh, I know it was yours, Zarya, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's not that big of a deal.
Exactly.
But if it was going for you,
So-
Zarya, I guess. Like, you should
so
have still
there were-
shielded to Zarya.
There were two things you needed to shield instead of going for a fire strike, and that would be shielding both the Zarya and the Mercy because they're both low, and Zarya's trying to run away. She gets out alive. She gets out alive because Diva's Papega. But
I think I was
Yeah.
trying to go for like a body block type deal at that point.
oh, okay,
Pin out of that.
yeah,
I need to start doing that more with May ults.
yeah.
I feel like I've been struggling with Maze, and I've just been thinking about how to move around them.
I would have committed on that Anna and gone for a PogChamp 180 shadow.
Yeah. I agree
See
with
what
that.
happens. Probably would have C9'd, but would have looked cool.
It would have looked cool. And you might have been able to do something with it. Okay. Okay, you're on ball.
Because the other guy went Ryan.
You could have gone Zarya. Ball's not too bad.
And I think I get stuck in this one. Yeah.
Right.
I'd probably
Raven, you want to say anything?
shield as soon as you commit. I mean, you got to expect them to try and deal with you, right? You can't just expect them to let you pass past them without some kind of retaliation. So I would just shield immediately. Although then again, I mean, if you're trying to, you could be saving it for an engagement. Bubble, go behind them, shoot at them a bit.
It's kind
and
of
go to
a
Mega.
it's kind of a stinky rollout
Yeah.
Just
it wasn't the
because-
best rollout.
Oh, yeah,
because you
could go from
can't
me, I
really
guess.
you can't really swing from here. Most of what Bull wants to do, he wants to swing high and then go down from there
Okay.
and then disrupt them. So I don't know if you played Bull enough, but you could have
Yeah,
just
latch into the top
aimed your
there.
hook here and then gone down instead of just walking out into them.
I think at the moment I saw a fight happening in the archway, so I was like, oh, I'll just roll right around them. But then they backed up, and I didn't account for that.
Okay. So, if you're thinking like that, what you could have tried to practice or done is you hook here, and then you swing up that way, and then you come from here, and then you pile drive. Because what you want to do as Bull is come from either an offset angle or an unexpected angle. And unexpected angles are always fun. I don't know if you played Doom a lot, but it's kind of similar to how Bull wants to engage. So it's usually always an off angle or an unexpected angle, and this is what I call both.
All right.
Just because, imagine if you're here, then all of a sudden you see a Bull just coming from the left top side, from here. Like even if you get up to here, you can still roll down and then pile drive into them.
Alright.
So I don't know if you practice.
I haven't done that jump yet.
Yeah,
You
it's
coulda
just
just
something
flanked
to
left
get
side.
used to with ball. But yeah, what are you saying, Raven?
Could have just flanked left side and booped them in from behind. There's a lot of different ways of approaching this. I mean,
Yeah,
because
there's no
obviously
definitive way.
Sig Roadhog rely on range a bit. So if you boot them into your team, then they're at your disadvantage. Plus, I
Hmm.
mean, you have a Rhine,
That's
and
what
like I
was-
mentioned last round, you want to. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
like just like with you playing Rhine, he's going to take a lot of damage. So bringing the enemies into your team and into your Rhine is going to put you at an advantage because obviously they can die
Yeah.
easier. So one
Yeah, that
other
makes
approach,
sense.
other than just pile driving in, is actually going on a flank and booping them into your team when your team starts to push. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways you could approach this as
I'm
well.
just thinking.
Honestly,
yeah, you could-
yourself
you
as
could
a
have
ball
done-
is just basically divert attention and just like boop them around so they're out of position. So if they have a widow and they're hiding behind a shield, you can just boop her out the way or something like that. You know what I mean? There's an example. But you could go behind them and boop the Ash in front of the Sigma or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With there's a mechanic where you can like double boop them if you like slow down and then quickly speed up again. You can like double boop them, so that'll guarantee you in front of the Sigma, the Ash being in front of the Sigma, but stuff like that. And then like
I
because
think
this is low elo, no
I'm
one's
just
gonna pay attention to the
the-
board unless he's frontlining like this.
Yeah.
So one way to do what Raven's describing is like if they were here, you could hook onto this corner here, position yourself roughly around here, hook shot onto this corner here, and then roll out. And then the way how ball works, you'll swing out and hit something into your Rhine, so he can swing at it. What Hamza's Hazard or Exams is describing, you kind of want to zoom past this way, and then wait for your hook cooldown to come again, and then and then aim for the Ash.
Okay.
I think that's the best way to describe how to do what these two were describing what to do. But definitely, you should not simply roll out in front of them.
Yeah.
But you get away because you're bull.
Yeah,
I think
it's
I
weird.
barely got away on this one.
To be fair, your presence in their back line pressures them more so than you think. Because especially if they're playing a hit scan or something like that.
Oh,
Or
some
like they
tactical
have
space
like-
creation, aren't they?
Yeah,
He
you
knew
need,
they
you
were
need,
gonna
you need
run
a long
one.
you need practice with ball, especially with these doorways, because it seems like you get caught on these doorways a lot. Just yeah, you just go into a custom game and just practice.
I think I picked up ball. I think like last week.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I've been watching a lot of this dude that plays a lot of
Oh,
ball.
you should have finished off the
Yeah, you should finish off
man.
Baptiste.
because he's so far away from his team there.
You dodged. And then doing ball things.
I would have gone for a power drive engagement.
Yeah, you could have. There's some moments where you could have power drive.
And you're unnecessarily shielding them.
Yeah, like here, when you were on top of here, you could have power drived onto them and possibly got a double kill. I don't know if you can see that, but you know how power drive works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So any kind of midair, you can power drive. So
As long
you
as it's
go on
higher
top
than
of
you
these
can naturally
boxes.
jump.
Yeah. So you go on top of these boxes, and so if you walk off, you can pile drive. And from this angle, you could have got a double kill just like that. It just seems it does show that you're kind of uncomfortable with ball, but that just comes with practice. Like you're kind of just rolling around, not doing anything. and then kind of setting up. So you want to kind of prevent stuff like that from happening. So really, if you find yourself doing that, where you're kind of just rolling around, just get out to hamster form and start shooting people, and then wait, and then your cooldowns come back, and then you can try and do what you are trying to do, what you usually do and stuff. So, but
Nathan, before you press play, okay, I was gonna say just watch the rhyme.
I just want to see. So I don't know if I've explained myself properly, but like here, what I would have done is like you follow through with this Baptiste, and because there's an elevation here, you could have power drive this and then gone out and then shot him to kill him, or force out his lamp, but lamp's already gone, so this would have been a definite kill for you. Do you see that?
Yeah,
Or...
I see that. I see that.
Yeah, that's good. So, oh yeah, I wanted to comment on this Ash as well. Yeah, whatever. This is yada yada. So, like here, you're waiting for health, but you're also still in ball form, just rolling around. So instead here, you could have gone out to hamster form and shot at people. So say this Baptiste or but this Sigma after he's used his left shift or whoever that's around, instead of just rolling around, just vibing, I guess. So you see Ash, you try to hook onto her, but failed, but it's okay. So here it's kind of weird because I would have stayed here and just shot at her. One, so that she can't shoot the rest of your teammates, and also you're a 600 HP ball that has extra 200
Oh, a
health
thousand,
shields.
isn't it?
1,000.
How do you go to 1,000?
You can go to 1,200.
Oh my god.
You wouldn't be able to in that engagement, though.
Yeah, in that engagement, you can still get an extra 200 HP. So, in my opinion, you should have just stayed here and just kept shooting at her. But you do. How far does this
Speed it, man.
speed?
Go back by 10 seconds, you do notice.
No, 20 seconds.
Well, 20 seconds is still better than...
20 seconds would have taken me to the. So.
Well, that felt like 20 seconds.
So you could have just stayed here and just shot at her. Shot at her. Yeah.
Oh, that helps.
Shot at her a little bit more. Yeah. But you do kill her anyway, so that's fine. But
I just
talked
want
about the follow through with the Baptiste, it's fine. So I don't know if you can do this. I don't know if you knew you could do this, but you can actually just walk on payload, jump off the payload, and then into a pile drive.
I did not know that.
You gotta make sure you jump though. You can't just fall.
You kind of want to. You do want to look out for those things. So knowing what you can pile drive off of, and stuff like that, because pile drive does like what 100-ish damage.
Oh,
No.
100
No,
max.
it's like 50.
100
50-ish
max.
damage?
100 max.
100 max. I think.
has
Yeah,
follow.
100 max.
That's on your height.
Yeah. But it's still some damage, and also it's a knockup which disorientates your enemy as well. And then that way you can get out on ball form and just start shooting them.
Alright.
So yeah, it's one of the things where, like, literally any sort of elevation, and then you jump off that elevation onto normal ground, you can get a pile drive off. So you can, for this dumpster, you can either walk off or jump off this dumpster to get a pile drive going, and it's the same with these boxes. Or even if you want, you can use a lift. But it's some of the things you want to look out for. One thing I would say with ball. Okay, yeah. So, yeah. One thing I want to say with ball is that instead of hooking onto payload and then spinning around, like you see contesting ball players do, so the only way that's good is if you're contesting a point. But here, you don't want to contest the point, you want to win the point. So I would advise always look for the high hook. So you want to be hooking up and then into a roll. Okay.
All right.
So in this example, you would probably hook here and then roll. What that does, it gives you a bit of extra height and also a boop. So you, at the end of your roll, you'll end up here, and then from there you can pile drive. But there's nothing inherently wrong with this roll as well. But it's kind of just boop. You dodge the rock with the thing, you start swinging. So, yeah. I was gonna say some bull tech. Should I say some bull tech? Raven?
What were you thinking? Wall jumps?
Do you think bull tech would be useful?
Probably.
So
Depends how seriously you
what
want to learn ball.
Yeah,
I mean, it can
how
definitely be
seriously do
helpful,
wanna
but you
learn
gotta be really
ball?
good at them.
Yeah, I mean, I want to get pretty
Is
at ball.
I can send you a video
you want to
Alright.
get
if you want to talk
better
about the
ball,
tech.
or is it just like an off pick?
You
Kinda
be one of
thing.
the picks that I'd be going for.
Okay. So I don't know. It's usually you see these things when you play a lot more ball, or like you watch a video of what bull can do. So what I see you could have done here, I played Doomfist, so it kind of relates a little bit. So what you could have done here when you were rolling back takes me all the way here for 20 seconds. Okay, that's fine. Blah. So here, okay. So what? Oh wait, no. You do this kerfuffle, okay, into here, right? Or do you go for another swing? So here, what I would have been looking to do is that you roll, but you aim for here, where you can do a bounce. Do you know what a bounce is?
Not quite yet.
Okay, so a bounce is any form of object that's kind of low to the ground. You can press spacebar before you touch it, and then that'll launch you up. And that's what we call a bounce in terms of Doomfist and ball. On ball, it's easier to achieve bounces just because of the nature of the ball itself. But the important thing is that you want to press spacebar before you hit the object, and the object cannot be players. Yeah, you can even do it on Brig. But Brig, I think they nerfed that bounce a lot harder. So
It's hard to do it.
I can later on I can show you, and then it could be helpful. But you could have aimed here and then gone a bounce off, and that bounce would have given you elevation for a pile drive, and that would have been probably enough to kill Sigma, and then done a lot of damage to Baptiste, especially since you rolled into them. So I don't know if I've explained bounce. So to perform a bounce as Hammond, what you want to look to do is go at the speed you're going at. So hook into the speed, and then you want to aim for, like, if you want to go for bounce, you want to aim for something that's kind of low to the ground. So say like the payload's kind of hard to do here, so it's kind of things you notice. But usually you want to look for like kind of low objects like small boxes or bins. Oh, I'm just looking for examples really, but I'm just looking for Doomfist examples to be honest. But it, as long as it's kind of low, and especially if it has a little small thing hanging out here, so you see the regular box and then there's a small thing here, you kind of want to be bouncing off the little small thing here, just because it's low to the ground and also has sort of an edge. Okay,
Alright.
and you want to be going at speed, and then before you collide with the thing you're going for, you want to press spacebar, and then if you do it right, you'll be launched up into the air, and it's kind of icky. It's kind of iffy, but it definitely needs practice. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that's ball tech for you. I can show it later. You just need to remind me. But what I was talking about is like here, you kind of just roll around. Not okay. Wait, no, you go into this.
Oh, and I could have pile drived there.
Yeah. But here, chip damage is fine. Aiming for lamp.
Unnecessary
I really
shield.
need a
You were
shield
full
there.
health.
So
Yeah.
like here, you ended up rolling onto these boxes, and then you could have pile drived here, but it's okay. You get the kill anyway.
You didn't see the shadow.
Why are you watching the right?
Because the Rhine shattered the platform and no one seems to notice it. It's really annoying me.
I would say that okay.
That was fine. Your widow kind of carried, and that's okay.
Can this widow teach me how to be a good widow? See, look, 800 HP. That should be illegal. What the fuck?
You do tend to shield a bit too much, and a bit too much when you're at
Ye-
high health. I feel like the only times you need to shield are when you're engaging into a big mass of enemies who might want to CC you, or if you're in a 1v1 and you get kind of low, because, for example, you shielded when you're on that mega right in front of the camera, never mind, and then by the time you got to the hog, not only were your shields down, but your shield cooldown was not up, so he hooked you and he got you kind of low. You didn't have any shields at that point, because you had already used them. And remember, it's not feeding if you lose shield health, because shield health does not turn into ult charge. So
Right.
if you engage into the enemies, get a fat shield of like 300 HP, engage and damage them until your 300 extra HP is down, and then run away, then it's just a win-win for you because you've got an ult
Yeah.
charge and they haven't gotten any.
Yeah,
I
basically
mean, the
think of
supports
it
will have,
like
but the
Roadhog
DPS won't.
E. Yeah, think of it like Roadhog E or Zarya left shift.
Okay.
Well, Zarya left shift in the essence that you want to escape from a certain angle, and not you don't want to build up charge, but you want to escape. So you would save left shift to basically mitigate some damage. So yeah, Bull's E is kind of like that, or even Roadhog's hook, where he's about to take a lot of damage, so he just presses E. Yeah, stuff like that. But yeah, that was good. You should do that a lot more, where you know.
Where did their hog go? Is it just in your backline? No, it is.
No, he's just right there.
Same thing.
So, again, here you can jump off and pile drive if you are going to 1v1 him.
Okay.
So,
Might as well.
which it looks like you were. So, and also it prevents him from escaping because pile drive gets up the knockup, and then Hammond wrecking ball pile drive is very annoying to deal with. And it's just like, yeah, you just get into a custom game with ball and just figure out what kind of distances you need to just pile drive off of and stuff.
Okay.
That's fine. If
Do the Toronto kick, man. You know what the Toronto kick is, Magna?
yeah, I do.
It's where you go backwards instead of forwards to
See,
reach
that was
height
good.
for a PD. Should I look over that again? I think we should look over that again. So that I have an excuse to say things and feel like I have a massive brain.
Yeah, I do know the Toronto kick would be funny to do.
I will send you a video full of tips and tricks. Not by me, by somebody else, but it's a good video. So, you know.
I don't know about anyone else watching, but it feels like your sensitivity is kind of low for you.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just it's just an observation I'm making at least, because it's like, I don't know, Hamza, do you think anything? No.
I'm not gonna lie, boss man. I'm just trying to stay awake.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Because like right here, this is an easy kill for you. Like, because it. Okay, here's a good example anyway. So, okay, what if he runs away?
Dude, you are so aggressively pressing those plus and minus buttons.
So, like here, he's already gone, but then
I see that now.
how I'm imagining you aim towards him. I feel like this is already one swipe. I'm guessing this is one swipe of the mouse, and this is the second swipe. And then that to me is just like, it just tells things where it's just like, this might be a bit low. And also, just when you're looking up for a hook, it's a little bit slow. It could just be that you're just not very practiced at it.
Okay.
But most of the movements, which should be kind of fast, just look a bit slow. And I've just been noticing that in your Rhine as well. Just with some of the swings, it's kind of off. I don't know. But that's my opinion of it. But like here, tracking this target, there's a lot of under-ish aiming.
Hey,
where it's
hey,
like, it's kind
pause
of
that.
lagging behind.
It's time for me to be a big
What?
brain.
Okay.
So in scenarios like that, where you don't have enough distance to get momentum onto them going forwards, you do the Toronto kick, which is where you go backwards to get air. Because
Yeah.
you don't want to boop him away at this point, because then he'll just be closer to his team. I mean, obviously they're all respawning, but my point still stands. You don't want him further back because it'd be harder to kill. So if you just hold S, then you go up backwards instead of up forwards, and you can still pile drive once you get the airtime. I mean, he might shield it, but at least at least he's not going to be shifting.
Yeah.
Because even if you do pile drive and he's shifting, you still do damage.
Okay.
Toronto
But
kick
that's in
would
the
be viable.
that's in the video that I'm going to
pretty
send
big
you. Don't
brain.
worry.
That's pretty big brain.
I know. You could pile drive behind him there as well. Just jump off that little edge.
So here, that's good. Just want to look at this. How you track a target.
You could have swung a bit. Couldn't you have swung a bit further and dealt boop damage
You
to
could
the
have swung
Baptiste as well?
You could have swung a bit further to boot the Baptiste. Yeah. And then further CC him. So here, you kind of under aim.
Wait,
So-
go back to the hook, the rollout. Go back to the rollout.
Okay.
This is way far back, but we'll roll with it, I guess.
Yeah, we'll roll with it because, yeah.
Just speed it up, man.
Because somebody can't just go
Man.
back by a bit. Okay, yeah, we'll watch this in slow motion. Yes, very nice.
So,
Negro.
oh yeah, another thing with this is that if he's using his left shift, just melee him.
Okay.
Or you can
Yeah,
get
it pisses him off. It pisses him off. You just melee him, and he's low. He might die.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good
But
future tips.
it's
But yeah,
it's okay.
Or you could.
but yeah,
So
here,
want to see this rollout?
rollout over here, you could just let your momentum carry you up even further rather than letting go. Because you do the higher up you are, the more damage you do on your power drive.
Okay.
Yeah,
That agitated
wrong.
Raven a bit, I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. That's exactly what Raven said.
Mm.
It's okay. So I wanted to talk about
it?
aim.
I was
Yeah,
Raven.
it really was what Raven said. But it's okay, Hamza.
Because
No,
from what
I didn't
Raven
think
say,
that.
he didn't mention carrying the momentum. Okay, he didn't mention the word.
I thought it
momentum, he
didn't
just
deal
said-
extra damage from higher up. That's all. I thought it dealt damage no matter how high you were.
No,
dealt the
I
same
swear,
amount of
the high
damage.
up you are,
I don't know, man. I
think
don't
it
know.
scales.
Yeah.
I don't think it scales.
Anyway,
but no, it counts obviously at a certain point.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah, Hamza is right.
bro,
but the higher
whatever.
up, the more damage.
Whatever. I don't care.
No, Hamza's
Oh, I'm
anyway.
not tank, you know, I'm not.
Anyway,
the
it's just.
tank, you know what I mean? She's like,
I mean, none of us play ball,
Yeah.
so
I wanted
anyone
to talk
could be right.
about Le Aim.
Yeah, we'll be
So-
honest. I'm pretty new to PC. I started like in March or April, so I'm still like relatively new.
PlayStation.
Would you like Kovacs?
Xbox
Oh, whoa.
PlayStation.
or the Siege? Oh,
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, I was originally on PlayStation, but
Um,
I just started getting to PC gaming.
Shout out from the PlayStation to PC boys. But yeah, it is a bit getting used. It is tough getting used to this moving your wrist instead of your thumbs. I will say that. I don't know. I don't know much about it, but I can say that going from PlayStation to 805 as a tank player is not really a good thing.
Okay.
But it depends on what kind of sensitivity you used to use on PlayStation. Like,
yeah, this is actually true. What sensitivity did you have on your PlayStation, like when you used to play, like any FPS game?
or like
well,
any game really.
I think for Overwatch, I had, I think in the 50s.
Okay. So what would you say that was a high sensitivity? 'Cause
Like,
I don't know
what,
about.
yeah, I don't know about the numbers. What did it feel like? What did it
Was that
feel like? Was it kind of high when you moved your thumb? Did you do 360?
Not too fast. It wasn't like super fast. But
Again,
also, I
let me.
don't really play a whole lot of FPS. Like the only other FPS game that I usually play was like Doom.
Fuck, I was gonna ask if you played Call of Duty because that's the best way I can reference it. So,
Okay,
so-
Doom.
so it's in essence, if you had a relatively fast sense, I would say I would recommend going for like a lower sense. So at 5, you're pretty good, but as he said, it wasn't that fast. It didn't feel that fast to you, so you could like go down a bit more. Because on console, for me, I played on really high sense. So and I play at 5 right now, and that's like pretty good for me. Sometimes I feel like increasing, but yeah, that's.
I would say
You could go lower a bit more.
for you, like you could go a tiny bit higher.
Well, first you said it was
So-
too low. Now you're saying it.
No,
Well,
no,
yeah,
wait,
don't
I didn't.
get
Wait,
what you mean.
He always said it was too long.
yeah, I said it's too low, so it needs to
I
be
don't
higher.
know.
What?
I don't know what.
What?
I
I said it was too low, so go higher. What?
I don't know what you're on about. What do you want
Do you
me to
know-
say, bro? I'm just here for the vibes. I don't know what I'm about. Don't listen to me.
I'm Raven, am I stupid or something? I said it was too low, so just increase it a bit higher.
Man,
I'm too tired.
I don't care, man. I don't know
Okay,
about
sorry.
aiming.
Okay.
I just say
Hey,
Sorry.
learn this one better if
Sorry.
you want. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
But you don't have to change your sensitivity when your aim's bad. You can just get better at aiming.
This is actually true. It's like Nathan, for example. He's just bad. Well,
Exactly.
Anyway, that's why he plays Doomfist. You don't have to aim your punches.
Do you want an aim battle right now?
you just throw your fist.
Anyway, sorry. So, what I was saying here is that especially when he walks away from you, you react to it, but like you react to it kind of slowly, and you offshoot a lot, or like you under aim a lot.
Dude, how long have we been reviewing this Hollywood game?
I don't know.
Oh, you know what it is? It's because Nathan goes like, how long did he spend on first point?
Yeah, man. Anyway,
Bro, it's
Hey,
just
we're just that
question
good
time
of
on
coaches,
BBC,
man.
bro.
We should get paid for this. Just like we should get paid for boosting. Ah, what? We don't boost.
That was a cool power drive. That was a cool power drive tech. Unfortunately, didn't go as well
Hey,
as.
go back to the power drive. Go back to the power drive. Not that far back.
It's pretty close though.
Okay.
you should
Hmm.
mines before
Okay,
you power
have
drive.
your shield up. You should, yeah, you should mine and then knock them up into the air.
Yeah, because when
Yeah,
they're
you should-
knocked
that-
up, they're
this is-
stuck there for like a
so-
half second or whatever. It got nerfed recently, but they're still stuck there for a bit, so the chances of them actually getting hit by the mines is increased.
Yeah.
So it's
So
mines and then power drive.
yeah,
Okay.
mine then power drive.
Because now, by the time the mines activate, they're not in the minefield anymore. So you basically, I mean, you zoned them, I guess. You force some of them to go forward, some of them to go backwards, but you didn't actually kill anyone with it.
The hell's she doing?
Oh, you could have PD'd that.
Yeah, could have PD'd that.
Just
You
leave it.
couldn't just leave her.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
This is very chaotic right now.
It's very a lot of just walking around. Like right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if you understand different types as ball, you can definitely capitalize on never leaving ball form in like gold. Because if you do manage to boot people into your team and stuff, then that's enough of an impact into the team fight that you need to make. So you don't have to go off on the off angles, getting the picks and stuff all the time. Just simply getting behind them and booping them into your team can definitely work fine.
Honestly,
You killed the honor there. That's fine. It just looks very, very lost.
done better, basically.
Yeah. You just
Yeah, and that just
look
comes with practice.
very.
If you watch pros and you practice your tech, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like for example, instead of hooking onto that right, you could have hooked onto that middle platform, and then
I mean, dash through them.
I like the
Yeah.
hook. You should have just power drive afterwards.
Yeah.
like that. Hard drive. Mine's.
Yeah. Why is there a widow here?
I feel like
Yeah,
you
this
should have
is,
waited for my shields before you engaged them. Because remember, kids, temporary shields don't become ult charge. I'm really hungry. Oh, it's 5 PM, that's probably why.
You hungry? No way.
I have eaten today. Why am I hungry?
Yeah, I'm hungry too.
I had a monster.
I had breakfast at like
Because I'm a Kyle.
Yo, Kyle. Kovacs Kyle.
Go back,
See, that's
Kyle.
nice.
Uh, you should have got a mega before engaging. You already have HP.
Yeah.
You didn't have shields. Because there's a mega. There would have been a mega on your right.
Yeah. Always engage when you have full HP.
Or shields. Or both.
Or shields, yeah. Or both.
Thank you, Magna. Don't mind that. Wait until your cooldowns
You
come
know-
back.
I.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You
I
need
mean-
to cycle cooldowns.
So what I would have done is just gone off to the left, you know where that mini is, and then go behind them, and then do a high swing, mine, PD, and boop them, you
Yep.
know, and win. It's
Yeah,
that
if you're
easy.
looking tall. Yeah. What Raven said. You got that?
Yeah, I got it.
So
I'm recording, so if there's anything we forget, then we can all watch it back.
So
On my
as
YouTube
before, you know,
channel,
like,
smiley face.
you know, regardless of like if something's in your way, you just roll away. Like you get stuck on the payload a lot, and like just your job's not to stay on payload. You know what I mean?
That was a waste
Yeah.
of
Just
ammo.
keep going, whether it's to like go through the back lines, or like push them away. Just keep rolling away. If you like get a good pile drive and they're low, then you start shooting.
I feel like you should have
Other than-
prioritized the Baptista, since he was healing. And you probably don't deal enough damage to out heal, out damage a Baptiste heal.
yeah. Again, rolling around. You only want to do that when you want to contest a point.
yeah,
Okay.
there's no need to contest right now.
Yeah. You
Because
right
we
now
have-
you want to win. Okay.
All right.
So you would go for their back line, which is on the right side behind Caravan,
Yeah.
making sure they're out of the fight.
And like
Cool.
if people in front of you on payload are like disrupting you, just get on payload, jump, then pile drive.
Or just go
Okay.
up the stairs if you can't jump.
Yeah, or we'll go up the stairs. Go here, jump, then pile drive. Lower pile drive distances. But hey, you get it.
They just see 9 at this point.
3 different tanks.
Who
in
even
one
is
game.
Prezi, man?
I don't know.
You
Were
don't
they from
remember
some-
Prezi from Team
Oh, they're from
Orthus?
Scrum, right? Okay.
Yeah, I remember
Okay,
them
okay.
from a like.
Prezi from Team Orthus.
Okay,
You
I'm
don't
sorry.
remember him?
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
someone left.
Jeez.
Also, ooh,
Orthus sat
I
disbanded.
can coach. I like coaching Zara. Sorry, coaching Zara is fun because it's always the same. Because it's just bad build rotations.
Go on, Mr.
Who
Hank.
left?
You
Oh,
got
the
this.
soldier. Soldier? Whoever you got the DPS.
Yeah, soldier.
Honestly, no offense to anyone, you can't inherently be bad at Zarya. You just can't. Zarya's just so good. You just can't be bad at her. It's like the only way you can be is if you don't cycle your cooldowns properly.
This is fine. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is a
fine.
really nice comp to play Zarya against because everything's Sigma Diva and you counter them apart from your ult, obviously, because they can both eat your ult, but that's just
Yeah.
big brains
I watched
if they manage to do that.
a couple videos of just like looking
So,
for.
can we
for
pause?
Sigma.
We gotta pause there, bossman. Thank you.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were gonna notice
Pop
it.
quiz. I didn't notice that. I didn't really notice much apart from the lack of communication and the lack of bubbling backlines. But I mean, I was gonna
You
say,
didn't notice it?
notice what? Dying, the
Okay,
widow
yeah.
dying.
I was wondering what you. I was
I
wondering.
was just gonna say, burn down their tanks like you are kind of are doing. Why is that Diva's legs moving? That's scary. Ew, what's happening? Oh god, okay. That's weird. That's scarred me for life.
Damn.
So yeah, against this, I mean, if you want to and your aim's good enough, like clearly you're good enough at getting energy, at least against feeding gold tanks. So if you want and your aim's good enough, you can definitely go for that backline. Obviously, you should try and only go for that backline if you have personal up, because if you go against an Anna, she'll sleep you and stuff like that. And basically, your personal is really effective because it's just a CC blocker. So they can't use sleep, they can't use flashbang if they had that or hog hook or whatever. But generally, yeah, if you don't want to, and if you just want to work on ult economy, then just go for the tanks. Like this Diva is hard feeding right now. She flew into your backline and she doesn't have fly now, I assume. So just M1
Diva
her
should die.
down. Diva should easily die here, and then you should get Grav super fast.
Yep.
And then you can grab the rest of them. I mean, you could try to bubble your backline, because generally speaking, you need to use. Did she get rezzed and die again?
Yeah.
So these
That is exactly
starting
what happened.
bubbles are actually really good, right?
This is really good. They're really good.
That's one of the big things I have to talk about with a bunch of coaches is that your first bubble should always be for energy, generally speaking, and not
I
for
think we lost the person here. Yeah.
not for protection. So basically, with your projectors, it should always be for one of two things. It should be for enabling teammates or protecting teammates, or for energy if it's the first one in the fight. Because
bad.
what you should have done
Yeah.
is, the bubbles on yourself and that Ryan at the start were completely fine. You got a lot of energy off that, which I'm happy with.
Wait, how far back do you want to?
It's just then you should have bubbled the
Yeah.
widow on top, because you know that
Yeah.
they were diving, and if you saw anyone on top, then you should have obviously bubbled that, because that would fall into the protection category, right?
Yeah.
Because you'd be saving them from dying. Another
Another
thing you could do is enabling your Ryan, right? Because this Ryan wants to get aggressive, so you could bubble him forwards. Or if you saw the diva was diving your backline again, which it looks like she is, then you
Yeah.
can protect one of your backlines. So this is super important.
Here, when you see Genji dash, you know he's dashing towards your teammate.
Oh, dude, you
'cause
don't have
Widow's up
cooldowns.
there.
Maybe they're just massive brain and they waited it out.
And then
No, they didn't wait it out. This was the start of the fight.
2
This was the start of the fight
seconds.
when he got off the good bubbles.
alright.
So
2
Dashes up.
1.
But by the time
I mean, yeah, you could have probably bubbled her in that time.
You could have.
But that's
But,
just the game sense
yeah.
of actually knowing she was there, and the awareness of your teammates. I guess that's important as Zarya as well, because she is deceivingly really good at appealing. Because obviously, if they're diving somebody, you just press E on them, and it's like they can't do anything for 200 damage points. So, yeah. But that's just sensitivity and physically knowing that there's a widow up top right.
Okay.
But yeah, Zarya is really fun to coach. I like coaching Zarya.
yeah. One thing you kind of want to be careful of is to not use your bubbles on cooldown. Just kind of what you're doing.
Mm.
So, what I'd usually suggest is that as long as you're above, let's say, 60-ish charge, you should be fine getting off like a lot of damage off.
Okay.
Stealing my coaching points, man. Because Zarya is like my favorite hero to coach.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people get into the misconception, whatever that word, you know what I mean? That because I'm high charge, I am
Misconception, yeah.
carrying. Because what Magnar is trying to say is, you don't always need high energy. You don't need to be 100 energy the entire game. What's more important is using your bubbles effectively, because your bubble is not just something to give you energy, and it's something to soak up damage and protect and enable your teammates. So, for example, if you bubbled their widow, if you bubbled your widow on high ground there, yeah, you would have gotten 40 energy, but she also wouldn't be dead. So that's a nice plus. And there's also other things like the reason you enable a teammate is not just so you get the 40 energy, it's so that they can get extra space or they can get a pick. So, for example, the most common example is a Ryan and a Zarya. If you bubble a Ryan, he can take space easily and for free because he won't take damage. Yeah, you'll get 40 energy from it, but you'll also have the added bonus and the much bigger bonus that you'll have extra space. So that's what Magnus is trying to say. Not just don't use your bubbles off cooldown, it's just use them more effectively. If you read the guide that I sent you, I talk about that. Because it is super important having effective bubbles as well as high energy. Because the damage difference between a 100 energy Zarya and like a 60, 70, 80 damage Zarya is really not that much in the long term. So there's no reason to just use your projectors off cooldown. I mean, your personal less so, because obviously you're just protecting yourself. But yeah, you get what I mean. You should be looking around you thinking, hey, where can the enemies dive onto, and who are they gonna go for next, and how can I save them? You know.
Okay.
But honestly,
That even
your
died.
Zarya looks fine. Your Zarya looks pretty good. I would say that if you played Zarya more, you'd probably climb out of where you are. That's my opinion.
It's heartwarming.
Our Ryan should have kept
I've
on
been
going.
stuck in Solar for a little bit.
Honestly, what most of climbing is that you want to stick to a couple of characters and not switch around too much.
You should right click the diva as soon as she gets that. Unless you're just going for a massive
Yeah.
brain stagger play, which is probably kind of risky since the rest of his team's still alive. See that bubble, for example, that was completely unnecessary, right? Can you actually pause it there? That bubble onto the Ryan,
Yeah.
you didn't need. Because yeah, you got all your energy, but like what tactical advantage did you get other than that? You are 100 energy. You bubble
Yeah.
your Ryan. You're still 100 energy. Oh my god, you just won the game. No, right?
Yeah.
That bubble did not change anything. You could have saved it for the next recontest or whatever. And the next time that they, the next character that they try to kill, or if your Ryan tries to take space and your Ryan pushes up with that bubble, then it would have been helpful. Obviously, communications is a big thing with that as well. Because if you're trying to coordinate around bubble rotations with a Ryan, and you're trying to say, hey, Ryan, go in, I can bubble you, then obviously that's more beneficial to you as a team than what I assume is happening right now, which is you see a Ryan in front of you, you see your bubbles off cooldown, and presumably you're not really talking, so you just bubble him and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
gotcha.
That was nice. But
That was risky, but I like it.
folk.
And you gotta you gotta focus.
No.
Did
what
he
I
have
would say
shift? I wasn't paying
is
attention
that
to cooldowns.
always focus the graph. Doesn't matter if there's people on point. Focus the graph first. Why? Because they're in a stationary position and it's easy to aim at.
Okay. Yeah.
And also, some of their cooldowns are reduced.
For some reason here, I was like, oh, they're CC'd right now. We can just take care of these guys real quick and then go to the grab people.
Yeah. So, I would usually say,
Kill
yeah,
grab.
because it's kill graph. Always kill
Always
graph.
kill.
Yeah. So, yeah, nothing about it. Kill graph, easy
There's
kill,
two
easy
people
2
there.
kills, easy 2 kills. That's fine.
You just gotta worry
Easy 2
about-
kills in the graph. You kill people anyway, but you just want to minimize the chances of them winning the game. It
Not
is.
bad. They
Yeah.
won the 5v6.
Yeah, no, not
Really
gonna lie.
enough.
You do need
Yeah.
3%.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
The swipe
Yeah.
literally goes across like a quarter of your entire circle. Like,
Yeah.
it is.
It's more obvious when you did that turn from here to there.
It's because you know when the Genji ulted, you should quickly swipe to that. Like, who's his target? You got because he's obviously gonna pick a squishy, but for low elos, most Genjis either pick for the nearest target that's next to him or your backline. Essentially, that's pretty much what it is. So you got when the Genji ults, you got to bobble him like you have a cooldown up. But luckily, your McCree, obviously, Epic Gamer, kills it before he does any damage.
So like here, when you were trying to track this diva, it was tiny bit slow.
Okay.
But
If you're having problems
Well,
tracking
yeah,
somebody, you
I
should throw in
was-
right clicks as well.
yeah, right click melee.
Because
It's
if
really good.
doesn't even have to be a right click melee. If you right click somebody, it kind of boosts them in the air a bit, which gives them a more not only gives them a more predictable movement pattern, because obviously they're going to go in like a arc, but it also obviously deals damage. So for example, at the end of that round, you were going against a diva, and obviously a diva is really small and really skinny, and you can't really track against her if she's AD spamming. So what you can just do is right click her feet. Right click her feet a few times and she's dead.
Yeah.
I mean, you can try to right click melee if you're close to them and they're low HP, but even if they're not, it's still beneficial if you can't adequately track on them. I did send you a link though to a nice resource that
Yeah.
you must tell nobody about.
Raven's Guide to Ryan.
No, it was Kovacs.
Sorry, yeah. Oh, Kovac.
Yeah, that's why I said Kovacs Cup.
Oh, Kovacs.
Become a Kovacs guy.
But yeah, I think if you increase your sensitivity a little bit, you might be a bit more comfortable.
I just upped it by like 0.5.
Yeah, try 0.5, try 0.1, stuff like that.
Okay.
Just play around with it, see what you're most comfortable with at.
Usaria is pretty
I was
fine.
playing at like, what was that?
Sorry.
What did you say, Raven?
Usaria is pretty fine. You just need to work on tracking and bubble usage. But I assume this isn't the best game because you're in a 5v6 and they just hard fed your bubbles. You were 100 energy like that entire round. So it's probably not the
They were
most.
They were the
No.
5.
Yeah,
No, I'm on the
5v6.
5 stack.
Yeah, it's still whatever,
That-
whatever, dude.
Okay.
Because you were
This looks
basically
like it's
100
planning out to
energy
be a
the
draw.
entire round. So I assume it's not indicative of
Yeah.
your Zarya play as a whole.
I mean, you did well for 5v6 to be fair.
Yeah.
Them being the 5.
Good mercy pick. Big brain.
Good mercy pick, big brain. But yeah, I think
I gotta go after this.
if you play Zarya more, you should be fine.
I can send you some more
rank
resources
is
as well.
a
What?
AR2?
What is an AR2 rank?
He's masters. He's tanks diamond though.
He's masters.
His tanks
Okay.
diamondish.
Yeah, low
Okay,
diamond.
I just wanted to.
He's like 3.8 support. He never
Yeah.
plays in his main though. Just like me.
Just like me. I don't have a main though, but
Imagine.
anywho.
You can bubble out the doors here if you see spam damage. It depends on how much they do. It's the inevitable
In that case, they don't do any.
inevitable way up question. He threw a fire strike, but they can make an argument
he
for
threw a
it that
fire
not
strike.
being worth it because you could stand at the choke and get more energy than you would from a fire strike. It's just big brains.
Mm.
How much energy did you get from that person? That team shield? I'm having a hard time seeing. Kind of.
There's still a run behind you, right?
No. Oh, yeah.
There he is. There he is, because I didn't see him die in the kill.
Ah,
phase.
screw the backline.
You know what?
The
If-
backline dies, they're just too slow.
Who cares? You won anyway.
Hey, look at that
Been
positioning he just
5v6.
gave you.
Oh my goodness. Melee. Okay.
I was like, oh,
Um,
the
Oh, that's a good bubble. That's a good bubble. I like that bubble. He dies
Still
anyway, but it's okay. That's a
dies.
good bubble.
Nice.
That's
You did good. You did good.
Honestly,
Nice.
you
Solo
see that
carry.
last little clip before you won the game is why being a good Zarya, you can literally climb yourself out of silver
Oh, yeah.
or gold. Like,
Yeah.
you can literally carry the game as Zarya. If you manage to get your cooldown cycle, if you like manage your cooldowns and you help your team out more so than helping yourself out with energy. Like look how much damage you do. Even at 60, you still do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That was good. And you basically 5v6 then. Or even 1v11.
1v10, man. There's only 11 people in the game.
1v.
Do you want me to do some custom game stuff? I'll do some custom game stuff.
Oh yeah. Hammond dances.
How many? Oh, pff, I don't know how to do that. How do you think I am? I was just gonna go over
Um,
melees, right click melees.
I think it's easier if I do them with Doomfist, but
I mean,
the
I
same
can-
thing can be applied to Hammond. I'm
boom.
trying to think of. So
You should
I
The
check
would-
it.
rollouts.
I think I can try to bounce off. I can bounce off that. I think, but I think it might be easier to. No, I didn't do it at all. Is there? What's a good map for this? You know
Do you mind? I'm in 2.2. I gotta stop watching your stream. You're lagging me too much.
Okay. So I'm trying to think. Where's good? Where's good for a bounce? I think there might be. Can I do it even? No, I didn't do it at all.
Are you mistaking bounces with wall jumps?
No. It's definitely a bounce. I just cannot. It's harder for me to do as Hammond because I don't do it that often. But
I'm
I can
30
definitely
FPS
demonstrate a
right now.
bounce as Doomfist. So if you do, okay,
Yeah,
press too
you
late.
said that.
I pressed
honestly.
pressed
So
pressed too
good.
early. Yeah, I'm so bad. It's-
Dude, what did that tracer bot ever do to you? Wow.
So that's kind of the action you kind of want to go for,
Okay.
or some interaction. So you want to press spacebar, yeah, like that. So you see how far I went up.
Yeah.
So you want to press. It's something to practice, and you want to press spacebar. Literally before you press spacebar before you hit the object. So that time I pressed too early. Is there an easier way?
I said do the blue boxes, but you're not listening to me.
Where are the blue boxes?
bro. Then literally you walk out of
This
spawn,
one.
there's blue boxes, and look, is
These
that a
ones.
box?
Okay.
Oh,
Looks like a box to me, you know.
literally
Yeah.
just blue boxes are just outside. Look how easy that is.
Yeah, that's really easy. So yeah, just like before you hit the object, you want to press spacebar. That one I did way too early. But
You can then tell he's a master's DPS, right?
yeah, we.
Yeah, I
Can
think
you,
Raven was on about instead of as
I know what you mean by wall jump. You kind of just do this a little bit.
Wall jumps are harder to do though. Wall jumps
Yeah,
are easier
wall
to
jump's
do in a
really hard
corner,
to do.
but I can send you the video still. Watch my stream.
Yeah.
Watch the
It's wall
fight
jump.
through the pain of 20 FPS while I show off how to do right click melees in the corner swings.
It's
Raven stream.
Oh, it's loading. Oh, we'll get there
Loading.
eventually.
Let me just turn on the. Oh, that's the wrong button.
I can say that bounces and stuff like that is really affected by ping the most.
Okay. So, this is a fancy practice range workshop thing I have. One way to deal a lot of extra damage is to right click melee when somebody's kind of low, which is pretty self-explanatory. You just right click and you melee. One thing I like about this workshop mode is you can get extra energy by just shifting. So you can deal like a lot of damage by doing this, right? Because you can just burst somebody down for like a second and then right click melee and they will die immediately. It's great. I don't know why I'm lagging so much. Maybe it looked better on the recording when I upload it. Who knows? I'm gonna send you this workshop code as well as some other ones just to go over. One thing I like to do is practice against this Rhyme bot. If you press interact at any of these orbs, it spawns in different things. I wasn't looking. So you can block Shadow with personal. How you like that? And that's nice because that can be helpful in a game for obvious reasons. Plus, it's actually easier to block a Shadow with personal than it is with a shield because personal has less of a cast time. Also, if you press interact on this orb, it spawns in this Lucio, and that's nice and helpful because you can practice your aim against this guy, and that's pretty nice because for me at least, I feel like my aim problems as Zarya are against like flankers and people who just jump around me and that kind of thing. So I'd recommend going against this guy and like standing into the middle as close as you can. He will try to boop you away. But it's important as well as just to try and track him to throw in right clicks as well. Just because, as I mentioned, right clicking an enemy that you can't reliably track is important. Let's see if my lag is any lower on regular practice range. Just leave Magna in there.
Is it?
Who knows? I'm gonna do some Ryan stuff as well. I didn't see many problems with your Ryan because, I mean, I don't know. Do you know how to corner swing and stuff like that? I'll just show you anyway.
I've seen it. I'm not seen it. I've heard it done or heard it talked about, but I just haven't like seen someone go, "This is it, and this is what it is."
Okay, so what am I not doing right now?
You're not hitting.
I'm not hitting. Woo. Okay. So in order to corner swing,
It's pretty impressive.
corner swinging is a method of increasing the distance for right. And the way you do it is you aim in the direction that your hammer is coming from. Okay, not to, from. So your first swing, your hammer is on the right side of your body. It goes from the right to the left. So you look in the direction your hammer's coming from, which is the right, and you swing. You deal extra damage. Or you deal damage from further away. And if you're doing a swing from this side, you look to this side. So if I do it again, okay, I am lagging with so much, man. So I can do that, and I can look to the left, and I deal damage from that angle as well. So basically, it's good practice to get to do that in basically every swing that you can, because obviously, increasing your range means you increase your damage, and increasing your damage means you increase your kills. So do that, you know. I was gonna show you in practice range 2.2. There's a Symmetra bot actually. I saw. Are you still in the? It's still in there? No, oh, you are. Are you in there?
Yeah, I'm still in there.
Okay.
I'm
If you
still-
go back to stream, because I don't want my PC to like explode, or I could just show you a stream within a stream. No, I'm streaming Overwatch. Share your screen. Just go to Magna basically,
Going.
and he'll spawn in the Symmetra bot hopefully. It's the blue one. There you go. And then we can all make fun of Magna for missing the things instead of me.
Yeah, I suck because I
So you
don't
should
play
be able to
Ryan.
hit like 80% of these maybe, just by corner swinging. Obviously you have to move as well, but corner swinging helps a lot. And yeah, just try to chain together as many as you can. You should be able to hit a lot of these, like the vast majority. Obviously some of them will spawn too far away, but you should be able to chain together as many as possible. And that's why if you ever look at pro Rhyme plays, sometimes their aim just looks really weird because they're not actually aiming at the enemies, they're corner swinging the entire time. Because especially if you're up against a bunch of people, corner swinging is super effective because you can hit as many of them as possible.
No wonder Flats is a bad DPS. He's always trying to miss his targets. Get it?
Very nice, Hamza, very nice. So I'm going to send you a couple of videos and a bunch of workshop codes. I should just put them into
my wrist do things I don't want to do.
I know, that's why being a main tank is so hard and I'm so good at the game.
This is so...
What's your Rhine sense? I actually think I should probably put it... I should put it into a DI post so that I'll just send the exact same things to a bunch of different people. Because it's just kind of effort. I'll maybe put it in my About Me page, I don't know. So I'm going to send you a bunch of videos and a bunch of
Oh, this is so much easier.
workshop codes, that's the one. So I'll send you this practice range one, I'll send you a Ryan 1v1 one for blocking shadows if that's your thing. I don't have any for ball, but I do have a ball guide that's pretty good that I looked over. And that's about it. I actually have some stuff to do, so I can't review any more today. Alright, cool. But yeah, if you want any more reviewing, then that's sounds good to me. Especially Zarya ones, because I like coaching Zarya, and it looks like your coach Zarya is pretty clean. So I can probably coach that pretty easily.
Yeah, I'll try to get some bots later today, and I'll send them your way. That are more
Cool.
like Zarya, not me swapping between 3 heroes.
I mean, what the problems nowadays are, the meta's not really Zarya, and there aren't many off-tank players in comp anymore.
Yeah.
No, not off-tank. Main tank players, that's the one. So you have to fill for the main tank, which means you can't play Zarya, which is really annoying. Anyway,
Oh my god, this is so comfortable.
good session. I'm gonna upload it to YouTube because we've been going for like 2 hours and I assume you haven't heard it all. Or at least paid attention to it all. So I'll send you that when it's finally uploaded, which will be in like a day. I don't know, it depends how fast my internet wants to be. I'm gonna stop viewing this now because it's like PowerPoint. I'm gonna go now because I have things to do. So
Is
Do you?
cool. Yeah, I'm not at practice for the first hour. I told you.
Oh yeah.
I'll be there at 7.
Ew,
Alright.
look at me. I have a family, so therefore I shall enjoy this meal. Ooh.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have priorities over you. I'm
Oh.
sorry.
So
I'll be there at 7, man. I'm sorry. Just tell Valkyrie to push it back. Anyway, goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.